2026 is shaping up with planetary transits that mirror some of history's biggest turning points. From Saturn's steady grip in Pisces to Jupiter's shift into Cancer, these movements aren't random. They've lined up before during economic resets, conflicts, and breakthroughs. Today we're connecting them directly to the world's hotspots: US jobs and politics, wars, AI, global markets, health, and natural disasters in 2026. Straight facts, clear patterns. Let's see what they signal. Let's do a quick rundown on the key transits for 2026. Rahu in Aquarius and Ketu in Leo stay put for most of the year, pushing innovation with a side of detachment. Saturn holds its ground in Pisces all through 2026, enforcing empathy and boundaries. Jupiter starts the year in Gemini, bringing duality and ideas, then moves into Cancer mid-June for a more emotional focus. These energies have shown up in history during major shifts like tech booms and crisis recoveries. Now, let's see how they weave into today's biggest issues. First up, the USA. In 2026, expect a mixed economy with growth between 1.6 and 2.8%. Inflation should ease, but tariffs might add some pressure. Jobs will hold steady, but AI is set to widen the gap. Higher skilled roles will grow, while lower skilled ones shrink. Politically, the midterms could flip the dynamics, especially on trade policy. The Vedic connection here is Jupiter in Gemini early in the year, which echoes the information overload and policy debates of 2013 and 2014 that led to economic tweaks. Saturn in Pisces, similar to the 1993 to 1996 period, signals karmic checks on empathy. Think humanitarian policies emerging amidst job shifts, mirroring the compassion-focused reforms we saw after past recessions. Now, let's turn to the Ukraine-Russia front. The conflict might stall out or see a serious push for peace around the middle of the year. However, hybrid threats like sabotage could linger. Growing public fatigue in Russia hints at a potential endgame. From a planetary angle, Rahu in Aquarius, which is similar to the disruptive energies of 2006 to 2008, could drive unconventional tactics or even breakthroughs in talks. This is like the innovative diplomacy that ended certain Cold War stalemates. Ketu in Leo adds a sense of detachment, which could help cool egos and lead to a resolution. What about India and Pakistan? Tensions could spike over Kashmir, with a moderate risk of clashes stemming from terrorism. Looking at the transits, Saturn in Pisces echoes the boundary tests of 1965 and 1966. This transit often leads to empathetic de-escalations after periods of strain. Think quiet pacts made after conflicts. When Jupiter shifts into Cancer mid-year, it could nurture a sense of family-like regional ties, softening hard lines, much like we've seen in past border thaws. Over in Europe, the continent is eyeing growth between 1.2 and 1.6%. Defense spending is up, and looming tariffs will test EU unity. Historically, Jupiter in Gemini mirrors the communication surges and divides of 1989 and 1990, which led to major unity breakthroughs like the fall of the Berlin Wall. Saturn in Pisces adds a layer of empathy, predicting cooperative policies on big issues like energy, similar to the alliances formed after Crises in the 1990s. Regarding China, Taiwan, and Japan, the risk of escalation is set to rise by 2026. We could see more cyber and naval moves, though these will be balanced by strong economic links. Rahu in Aquarius, like the inventive tensions of 1935 and 1936, could spark tech-driven standoffs or new innovations in defense. Jupiter's move into Cancer mid-year emphasizes protective instincts, which could potentially lead to guarded thaws that echo historical moments of détente. Let's now talk about AI and its impact on the job market. Artificial intelligence could displace millions of jobs globally, but it will also create new ones in technology, making reskilling absolutely key. We can see patterns here. Jupiter in Gemini early in the year, similar to the digital booms of 2013 and 2014, will accelerate AI adoption, likely with some information chaos. Rahu's push in Aquarius, like the platform explosions of 2006 to 2008, hints at innovative job evolutions. turning losses into opportunities for skill-based rebounds. So what does this mean for the overall world economy and markets? Global markets are targeting about 2.8% growth, though we might see some corrections early in the year. Emerging markets are poised to lead with 4% growth. From a transit perspective, Saturn in Pisces echoes the steady rebuilding periods amid strain, like in 1964 to 1967. This predicts resilient markets, thanks to empathy-driven policies. Jupiter's shift into Cancer mid-year could bring stability by focusing on secure investments, much like the recoveries we saw after 2014. What about our health? Respiratory spikes, like new COVID variants and measles risks, are looming, and we'll be keeping a close watch on bird flu. Prevention efforts will ramp up. Historically, Saturn in Pisces is similar to the health awareness surges of 1993 to 1996, which often led to breakthroughs in global monitoring. Ketu in Leo helps detach from panic, predicting adaptive responses like the vaccine tweaks we saw during past waves. Finally, natural calamities. Floods are at the top of the risk list following the extremes of 2025. Solar storms or earthquakes are also possible in hotspots. From a planetary view, Saturn in Pisces echoes the flood-driven reforms of 1965 and 1966, signaling that empathy will fuel our preparation efforts. Rahu in Aquarius could drive innovation in disaster technology, much like the early warning systems that were born from crises back in the 1930s. So 2026 blends these powerful transits and historical patterns into a year of both tests and progress. The key is to stay alert and aware, to navigate it well. Which of these transits or topics hits closest to home for you? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and please be sure to subscribe for more direct, no-nonsense outlooks. Thanks for tuning in. Here's to a strong 2026.